Welcome once again to another mostly solo unboxing. This time the Great Race 2. Now, as the clue will tell you, this is the second in the series Great Race. Whether there will be any more we will see, but I was a great fan of the first Great Race, which was released, I think, or at least was kickstarted maybe about 3, maybe 4 years ago. And I enjoyed it immensely. So the second one was a no-brainer for me. The first one covered racing across Africa and South America, and this one is North America and Asia. And it's set kind of in the early to mid 20th century when these half-track vehicles were traversing and exploring across unknown lands. I guess this, my American friends will be able to tell me more about this, but I guess this dates it on the fact this is just being built. There's a lot more to this than this box. Let me give you a little demonstration. There's also this and those and a whole pile of stuff. So we're going to get through everything as and when is appropriate as we work our way through. Okay, I've already taken the cellophane off because it's quite a heavy box, and I'm sitting down. This table's quite high, and let's get straight to it. So there'll be a lot of tokens in here because as you travel across the landscape, there are a lot of things that get in your way, terrain and all kinds of goodies. Okay, so we have a bit of a jumble. We have a nice bag. 2 bags. No, 1 bag. Asia and USA. Okay, now that's interesting because there were 2 bags in the last one. 1 for South America and 1 for Africa. So I wonder how that works. We shall have to see. Perhaps the tokens are double-sided. They go in 1 bag, or perhaps they're just asking us to put them in the bag as part of starting the game up. Right. Let me see. Where should we start? Well, let's start with these because these are the control panels for your vehicle. And you have a fuel gauge, with literally you moving a little arrow up and down the fuel gauge. You have a number of cards that you can hold in hand, so kind of equipment and various things to help you out. And then this is the state of your engine, I believe. When the engine goes down to 0, then it's got, and this reflects the number of the distance you can travel based on the amount of fuel you use up, because different spaces will use up different fuel. But now, when I said there's a little lever here, you might notice, oh dear, there's nothing punched through, and that was an error in production. So I'm going to take these away, and we're going to bring these ones you saw earlier. These are the corrected control panels. Now, good on them, I would say, because they realized there was an error. They went away and fixed it, and fixed the error for the initial shipping distribution so that we all had the correct ones, which is fantastic. You know, it's a shame that these are going to waste, but so it goes. So there we have the control panels for the vehicles. These are going to be player screens, and each one is styled completely differently, you'll see, which I think is very cool. Different colors, different styles. I think that's very nice. And these are heavy cardboard. If I remember rightly, on the first one they were quite thin cardboard, but this, as you can see, proper stiff cardboard. Excellent. So when you are, there's a little bit of worker placement in that you place your workers in this area here to do certain tasks. So they can either raise money for you, or they can explore 2 spaces ahead, or gain another equipment, or gain another benefit card. ability card, or they can do some repair, or they can drive, or they can deal with some kind of hazard, or they can remove a tile in front of them. So there's kind of worker placement things. Now they had a little bit of a problem. Let's go to the workers now. They had a little bit of a problem. Oh, in reference to the shields kind of go around here. So when everybody's placing their workers, then it's hidden from everyone else and then revealed. So the workers are here. Now what they did on the first one was they made the bases of, let's get one that you can see them more clearly. They made the bases of these along here a little too wide to fit in this strip. And now they've corrected that. Fits absolutely perfectly. So what you found with the original is you had to kind of place them at a funny angle like that, which kind of blocked everything up. So that is fantastic. That's great news. And each one is styled slightly differently, as you can see. Oh, let's get some focus on that. As you can see there, very attractive. Yes, they feel a little smaller in the hand, but that's fine. And here we have the vehicles, and oh, it looks like the dials as well. So the vehicle, half-track vehicles look, again, let's get one that you can see clearly, right? It'll be much better. They look like this. Yeah, very basic models. Now there's a space in there to put some cargo, and one of the variants allows you to take cubes of cargo in the back of your vehicle from one city to another, and that gives you extra abilities and extra points and so on. And that's, I think, in the first one, that was an optional one. And here we have the dials, and let me see how they work like that. And you literally, depending on how much fuel you use up, you literally move the dial. That is really cute. I think it's great design. You know, much better than moving cubes up and down. Very attractive. Okay, we have a bunch of money. This money was much criticized in the original version. It's kind of superfluous that it's as large as it is. Let me see, 10s, 20s, 50s, and 100s. Because it really you just take it, it just sits next to you and uses up a bit of space, and then you put put it back again when you spend it. Maybe that could be done slightly different, but that's not a big deal. It doesn't concern me. Score pad. Okay, so this is interesting. So this score pad looks like it combines all of the first set maps and the second set maps into a campaign, because we have Africa, and we have South America and North America and Asia. Well, that's good. That's interesting. So maybe a campaign record rather. Okay. And on this side, we'll have to see what this is all about. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, nice punch board with some alternative stuff going on. I'm not entirely sure what that is for. Ah, maybe that. Oh, no, that is for the AI opponent. Now, the AI opponent on the first one was actually very clever, because it moved quite logically. It was relatively easy to keep it running, and if you won the race, you would add certain cards. You would take cards out of its AI deck and add other cards in that will make the next race a little more challenging for you. And if you lost the race, then it would be slightly different. It would make it a tiny bit easier, or it would make it slightly less of a jump up in challenge. So as time went on, things became more difficult. All right, so here we are. These are the tokens that get placed into the map. So as you move from one location to the next, you place a token, and it will have all kinds of stuff. So this one, this is a village, and you have to stop. It says -1 fuel, so it'll cost you 1 fuel to enter this place, and you will have to stop and not continue, but you will get 20 francs. And just put that one back in there for a second. And here we see there's obviously weather related. I'm not sure what these are at this point. We'll see. Oh, and more stuff on the back there. So slightly different ones on the back. So it looks like maybe they are double-sided. They weren't before. So they're all in the same bag. And when you pull one out, you choose the side that you want. Now I'm thinking that because, let's have a look. Yeah, because we have a little logo, we can just see that diamond logo there, which looks a lot like that. So saving the cardboard, okay, I get that, that's fine. I mean, it's half as many tokens, right? Half as much cardboard for the tokens. All right, where shall we start? That's the AI. These are the main cards. These cards give you abilities, they give you some kind of advantage. I really like the artwork on these. And this one allows you to perform a drive action. And this one allows you to get a discount if you travel by ship or airship, boat or airship. There will be certain routes where you can take, well, they're kind of shortcuts. Yes, they're shortcuts, but they will cost you a lot more. Hence, you want the discount. This one enables you to deal with a hazard, but it will cost you fuel. These guys enable you to swap tiles across. It doesn't look particularly pleasant. And deals with a hazard, and so on. So this enables you to perform some repairs, gain some money, and so on. And the icon at the top here indicates when the card can be played. So this is limited to a particular zone, whereas this icon here, what is it, lightning? Yes, that means you can play this card at any time, so you can just chuck a bunch more fuel in. Marvelous. Okay, so those are the helpers, and we have a bunch of reference cards. Most of this are in both English and French. Different types of vehicles. Maybe there are some advantages given a particular type of vehicles, and these look like they are kind of modules that you would push in. So here we have this guy, once per turn you receive a bonus of 20 francs, and the French on the back. This is produced by a French company, hence the French. So yes, these are modules. So we see here that the village modules are the tokens that we saw earlier, and here are the weathers. And there are optional modules that you can add in to make the game more complex. And there's a nice, again, I'm going based on the first one. There's a nice chart that shows you how much longer or shorter the game is going to be based on the modules that you have decided to put in, and also ones that may or may not work together. Another set of cards. Now these ones are green, so I'm not sure what that's all about. Maybe we have a different blend of cards depending on what we're doing, where we are. No, you see these are brown, these are green. We'll have to get to the point of playing this to find out. Now, I recognise some of these cards because these have a name on the bottom, Rene Estienne. And this is your AI opponent. So there are action cards here. I'm not going to go through all this, but basically it uses a slight variation on the action phase procedure that you get when you play normally. And these cards have letters, and as you see, numbers in the top. So these are level 1 cards. level 2 cards, and so on. And I think there's 2, or there was 2 for each one, but we'll see how it works out. And as the levels go up, then the cards become harder, and that's the whole process of swapping the lower ones for harder ones to make your opponent a little bit harder next time. So you will see. So I mean, this is an extreme example, but you see here on the level 1, he can move once, but on the level 3 he can move 3 times. Great system. And really, I find it really makes me come back to the game again and again. Asian Expedition and American Journey. So, okay, interesting way of doing it. They're both in the same little booklet. Again, that saves money in printing, and it's just fine. This allows, I see, this randomly selects starting and finishing locations. Now, on the first game, you started in one location and you went basically either top to bottom or bottom to top of Africa or South America. But here, we could use dice to determine start and finish location to randomize the game even further. That's good. Passport. These are kind of achievements that you can record as you play the game, and enables you to do different stuff and gain some bonuses, I believe. And here we have the modules, collaborative module. Okay, that's very interesting. I like that. Experience module. And the French on the other side. So experts, double boards. A lot of variation, an awful lot more variation in this version. That's quite impressive. Okay, that's the French version of the same sheet. And here we have the game rules, which aren't too bad. You know, a chunk of those are related to the AI, of course. And a lot of these, of course, there's going to be some confusion when I play it, I know, because there may well be some differences from the first version. And this is just the French version of those rules. And we have now a whole chunk of cardboard. Let's give this a little look through, shall we? See what we have. Okay, so these boards are new. I don't recognize those compared to the first release. And this plastic isn't behaving itself, so let's give ourselves a little more space. So yeah, I'm not sure what those are. Obviously they punch through and allow you to put cubes or something on them. Cubes of certain colors. So when you transport the cubes as part of that module, you're able to maybe select a bonus. These all look like, for the most part, they look like bonuses. Gain fuel. Add a card, discard a card, gain 3 cards, and so on. So maybe and I'm assuming here, but maybe when you deliver a cube, you can put that cube into its appropriate row and gain yourself a benefit. Perhaps. Oh, and there's a whole load more of them. Okay. Well, it does say on the box that it can play from 1 to 8. Now, frankly, 8 is going to take you all weekend. Now, it's not a short game. And there's a fair bit of downtime. So, you need to be aware of that. So these are leaders, I believe. They're kind of leaders of your expedition. And they will have some kind of once per round benefit, and you flip it over. Let me see. Now this one is, I'm going to guess this. So we have a flip icon and we have an infinite icon. So this will be a constant benefit, and the flip will be you flip it over for once per turn or something like that, because the ones you flip over on the other side don't have the benefit, but the ones that are infinite do have the benefit. Oh, that's another flip. Look at that. Okay, he's quite interesting. We'll have to see how that works. So another set of those. And here we are with the tiles, and this will be the test. Are they double-sided? Yes, they are. Okay. So these all have the diamond icon, and these have the other icon, the kind of knot icon, which is, there we go. And actually, I like that. I think I like that, having a single bag with everything in it. I like that. It's one less thing to worry about when setting up and when putting everything away. Just chuck it all in one bag, not have to worry about which bag you're using. Excellent. Different kinds of threats. There are bears here, wolves, cats, buffalo, and then on this side we've got rhino, tigers, snakes, and the various symbols here. This one is basically a threat. And you see there's a rhino threat. It will cost you 2 fuel to enter this tile, and it'll also do 2 damage to your vehicle. Here we'll have to stop. You know, awful lot of these tiles have threats on, which is not great. And some of the tiles don't. Some of them just have the cost of fuel. And now you can kind of get stranded in the middle of nowhere without being able to do things for a while. So you can add on. You can actually gain some help from locals and so on. Now this game has, the original board was pretty big, but this one the board comes in 2 pieces, and it sounds like you can run just on half of the board for a shorter game, or you can run across the whole thing. So this is obviously North America, and then we have on the other side. No, that's North America. Washington, Charlotte, Nashville, Panama City, Jacksonville, Charleston, New York. That's definitely North America. I should look at the cities when I'm actually trying to tell you which it is. Let's put it the right way. And this, yes, of course, yeah, Hong Kong, Beijing, which, as you know, are cities in North America. Right. There's a reason I failed my geography O-level twice. Now, and then we have the other half. So as I say, lots and lots and lots of variation. Other half of the map. And you can see the circular. Let's pull that little tile that already popped out. So when you draw your tile from the bag, you'll place it on that circle and your little vehicle will drive onto there. And off it goes. So as you go along, these tiles are not explored, and you can drive onto a tile and just go with it. Or you can explore the tile ahead of you, or the 2 tiles ahead of you, draw a couple of tiles out, decide where they want to go. Now, one of the take that elements that I quite like from this game is when you draw those tiles, you don't have to put them in front of you. You can put them in front of one of your opponents. Simply as long as the tile is reachable, as long as there is a path to the tile, it's not just stuck down here randomly, then you can place the tiles. So, I mean, you can place a really bad tile in front of your opponent, which I think is a great part of the game. Now, other goodies. Let's see where we are. Let's go for the stuff. We'll get to the expansion box in a second. And we have a bunch of tokens. Now, these look a lot like tokens from the original game. What I'm thinking of. So they are pre-printed. Now, in the original game, you had a bunch of tokens and you had some stickers to stick on. They had a problem where the stickers weren't quite the right size. There was a bit of overlap. So the last one was their very first Kickstarter, and yeah, they had some problems. I'm going to suggest that this bag is a replacement for the tokens in the first game. And this bag is the tokens for this game, simply because this looks quite Chinese, and you see the symbols there. Right. Well, that's quite nice. That helps me out. We have another bag of stuff. So here we have an additional opponent. So there's another vehicle in there, some more dials. That has fallen out. So this is our dude. Again, it suffers from the lack of holes, so that has been replaced. And we have a couple of extra screens for more players. Marvelous. Now, I haven't actually played this other than solo so far, or at least the original other than solo so far. Now, here we have a bag of other pieces of card and a sticker sheet. So let's look at the sticker sheet first. So we have, I'm going to say, stickers to go on these boxes, hence the circle, to mark out what's in the box. So they did this with the original. They had these printed boxes, which are very attractive, that you'd make up, and everything gets stored into the main box inside all of these different boxes and break it all up. So none of your zipper bag rubbish, which I find really irritating. I know some people love them. Good for you. I don't, frankly. Right, okay, so we have expansions. And I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, in the first game, the solo player capability came in an expansion box like this. Right, we have a red player, so another one again. Kind of tempted to paint them, who knows. There's another cloth bag. Another one, looks like the whole print run was not punched correctly. And we have another screen for that particular player. Additional modules. Ethnology, Beyond Limits, slows down this game. I see it has so effect on the game time. It slows down the game. That slows. They all slow down the game. And to be honest, that's not a great thing, because this takes a while. Yeah, it's not a game you can get over in a few minutes. That's obviously some kind of tracker related to the modules. It will all be modules in here. And some additional, oh, there's some nasties here, look. Oh, spiders, wasps, centipedes, ants, snakes, all kinds of things, even a frog. I'm not entirely sure what the frog's supposed to do. Maybe it gets into your engine or something. Different kinds of terrain. Yeah, some interesting ones there. Variation. Various tokens and various ways to adapt. So what can happen is these can, and I'll just grab one, proper one. So these here can sit and replace this. So you'll notice there are 6 slots here, where there are 5 slots there. So you can make life a little bit easier for yourself. And again, these ones can sit, or this one can sit in here, and this one can sit in here. So that goes, this takes you up to 6. So they will make the game a little bit easier, because you'll be able to have more fuel and a little bit more robust, which is an interesting way of doing it. All right, quick look at some extra cards. Let's look at those in a sec. So these are just standard cards with different abilities. Maybe we don't use those unless we're using the modules. These are just promotional. Hydro Races, I think that's going to be a future Kickstarter. They tried it a bunch of months ago, but they cancelled the campaign rather quickly. So hopefully that will come back again. I'll be interested to see how that works out. Now, a bunch of small cards here. Again, no idea what these might be. These are based on some kind of bonus, maybe. And what do we have? Okay. Different terrains, different things happening. Okay, we'll have to look at the expansion instructions and see what these are all about. And these are quite intriguing because they don't look like anything that we saw in the first game. And this looks like even more of them. It looks very similar to that. Oh, look at this. All right. Oh, that looks like victory points, maybe. Oh, that's going to be fun working out how to play those. Oh, so that is it. That is the Great Race 2. I'm looking forward to getting that all properly punched out and in the bag and ready to play. We'll do a playthrough soon, and I think it's a fun game, both solo and hopefully maybe get one or two others to play along with me. Thank you for watching once again. If you enjoyed this unboxing, then please do give this video a like. And if you want to see more unboxing and some playthroughs, then please do subscribe and hit that notification button. Make sure you get to see and notified of new stuff coming along. I really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you again real soon.